What is up, my veggies? My name is VTR, and welcome back to another movie review. And today we're going to be reviewing Aquaman. Now, I know I'm like almost close to about a year and a half late to this movie. I think, 'cause I'm pretty sure this came out in 2018. Don't quote me on that. I'm like 95%. Yeah, because I think. Because my dad saw it the same day I saw Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah. So, this movie, I went into it extremely skeptical. Like, I was like, didn't know how this was going to turn out, didn't know if this was a good idea, didn't know if this was a bad idea. Because DC's track record when it comes to movies lately is a very mixed bag. But if you look at their most recent movie, Joker, people either loved it or hated it. Suicide Squad was apparently a critical flop because a lot of critics just hated it. Batman vs Superman was just terrible. Apparently, I don't really remember much from it. It's only seen it once and it wasn't even fully through. And apparently, Wonder Woman's is the best one we've had out of the DC EU. And it's kind of hard to know where this is going. Because the last DC movie I reviewed was Birds of Prey, which is part of the DCEU, but it's really still confusing on what they're doing with the EU, because the fact is we've got our Aquaman solo movie, and we've gotten our Wonder Woman solo movie, and the Wonder Woman movie is getting a sequel later this year. Hopefully it's still this year. But trying to think. But it's weird to see what's going on with the this universe and with these characters and what's the plan and what they're going to do with these characters and then like that, because this movie, Aquaman, I went into it very skeptical. This could either have fell into the bad category or could have just been just like Wonder Woman. It could have been a big success. Now, from what I remember when this movie came out, I heard pretty much mostly positive. It was really a strange thing to make a movie out of Aquaman, because Aquaman has always been the laughingstock of DC. Sure, so I believe this takes place before Batman vs Superman, and also before Justice League, I do believe. Yeah. Which doesn't really make... If it does take place before Justice League, there's some questions, which I get... This should take place before both of those movies. There's no way it doesn't. I'm going to stop trying to think about that. But this movie actually turned out relatively surprising, because I expected going into it to probably not like it, and it probably bore me to tears, and just really, because like when you think Aquaman, you think of that laughing stuff, but now that Jason Momoa is the person who plays him, or what's his name, right? I think so. Who plays Aquaman in this movie, who did a great job as the character. He brought a good comedic edge to it, and now this is the one. This is the Aquaman we kind of associate with now. Even the Lego Movie 2 freaking pushed the original Aquaman aside and was like, this guy's better. And I thought that was funny. that, and it's the fact that and it's worthy because this. Let's talk about the. I've talked too much. I don't really talk about the movie. Let's talk about the movie itself now. We'll start off with the characters. The characters are pretty good. There's not really anyone you really don't like. The villain is actually really interesting. He's actually Aquaman's half brother, and I'm actually surprised that he was actually referred to as Aquaman in this movie at all, because I didn't think that he would be referred to as Aquaman at all. And I do like how there's just some interesting things about Atlantis, and because I haven't heard anything about Atlantis in a movie in years. Last time I remember something talking about Atlantis is, see, I can't even remember. Now this movie obviously, now the like love interest, I guess you could say. Mara, was that her name? Mara? I don't remember. I literally just got done watching the movie, and I cannot remember her name. But she was very likable, and it was just so fun with her. She was a fun character. She was a little bland at some points, but she held her own. She has a great design. The costume on her is really good. I like her costume. It's very simple. If you showed someone a picture of her and told them this is Poison Ivy, they'd probably believe you. So, but I thought it was really cool how and all the other characters, supporting characters, are really good too. There's this one character who's like a guard slash protector kind of character played by, what's his name? Played Green Goblin in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. I can't think of his name, but he's in this, and it's weird seeing him in a good guy role. I know there's probably tons of good guy roles with him in it, but like, it felt so weird to see him in a good guy role because, like, he has that sinister look about him. Because literally, I said the same thing when I played Beyond Two Souls, because he's in that game as well. But then it turns out he actually goes a little crazy by the end of the game, so it still fit. But like with this, his character, like, he's not. The movie, I guess, would have been fine without him, but I guess we did need his character. Now, then you also have the parents. They're played well. They're not in the movie that much, but they're in there. That's about the action. The action is pretty darn good. Most of the fight scenes are really darn good. I don't know if Jason Momoa did his own stunts. I hope he did. I doubt he did, but if he did, I'm like... but the fighting and stuff and the scenes and the chases and stuff were all really nice in this movie. I really did like seeing the fight scenes and stuff like that. A few things really didn't click with me, but for the most part, the fighting was really, really nice, especially in the end, the final battle scene. It's like really good. This freaking movie has laser sharks. There are freaking laser sharks in this movie. Oh my goodness, I love that. Literally, when I first saw the sharks, I thought nothing of them, and then in the final fight, they're shooting lasers. I'm like, they're laser sharks. Laser sharks. That is so freaking cool. And all that, I don't know if if they were calling a reference back to anything or not with that, but the fact is, the two things I think of when I think laser sharks is the Lego movie with the scene where talking about Lord Business's tower, and one of the awesome powers, we don't know which one it is, but they mention sharks with laser beams. But that is so cool that that's in this movie. Now I want to talk about the CGI. For the most part, oh wait, no, real quick. There was one scene with where the red-haired chick's name, Marina. I don't remember her name, really, I don't. But the redhead chick's name, I'm sorry, I just can't remember the character's name. Where she's being chased, and You can clearly tell it's kind of her stunt double. It's painfully obvious that one scene, at least to me it was. And if it turns out it wasn't her stunt double, which I really think it was, but like I'm like, really? Now, before I get to the CGI, well, this sounds in the CGI and all that, I guess. Is the underwater stuff I expected to be weird and bad? Because we did only get to see a little bit of it in Justice League, but like because like you think about that in live action, you don't know how good that can look. But then I watch it, and these feel like they're underwater for the most part. There is a few bit of when they're moving around where it doesn't look the best with them just moving around. It doesn't look the best, but even though it doesn't look as good as it could, good as it could. I still think it's well executed with what they're trying to do, and it looks fairly decent. Now, the CGI in general, there is some moments for, I was like, okay, so far the CGI looks pretty darn good with this movie, and then for some reason, it just goes off the deep end, and some spots, and just doesn't look right in some scenes. Now, don't get me wrong, it's really only for a few seconds, and then it looks fine again. But, like, I'm like, why did that shot look weird? Because the shots you think wouldn't look good look great. The story, it's actually pretty generic. I know I'm praising this movie, but this action, the freaking plot is pretty generic. I do like the idea of Atlantis and the bad guys actually wanted to attack the mainland, like the land. I do like that. That's an interesting concept, but I'm pretty sure we've seen something like that before. We've seen something like that. We're like, oh, where we live over here, and they don't know about us, and we want to attack them. For literally, they try to put a motivation in there, but there's literally the motivation. You can't tell what the motivation is. Like they mentioned stuff, but like literally, you don't feel that there's really a motivation there. It's just to do it. Like I guarantee there's a motivation there more, probably because just humans are terrible. But like I'm sitting there like, can't you like make the motivation a little more clear? Because it's not very clear on what the motivation is. But the story is pretty generic, and I won't lie. Now, comedy, actually, there's a good bit more in this than I was expecting. And I thought it was freaking hilarious with some of its comedy, because Jason Momoa brings a good comedic touch to this character, and he's so funny. I hope he has a comedy out there. If he has a comedy out there, someone let me know, because I'd love to watch it if he has a comedy out there. The movie was really, really darn good, though. I'm glad I finally got a chance to watch it, though. I rented it at Redbox, so I finally got a chance to go see this movie. Guys, forgot to mention this in the review, but I want to throw it in here real quick. I don't know where this is interrupting it, but one thing I noticed when I watched the movie, like the first 15 minutes are in widescreen, but for some reason it switched to full screen for the rest of the movie, and I tried rewinding it and seeing if it was like a glitch or something on the DVD or my PlayStation, and it's still, I'm like, is the movie like that? Like, if you saw it in theaters, was it like that? Let me know down in the comments. And it's pretty darn decent. I'll go ahead and give my rating a, what should I rate this movie? We'll give it a solid 4 out of 5. Because there wasn't really much I didn't like. There was little things here and there. It did feel a little generic with the story, but there's not really anything to really hate about this movie. What you would have thought would have been terrible would turned out not to be. Little things here and there. There was a little things that's just, I don't know. it was decently shot and all that. It's a decent movie. I will not lie. Now, if you guys are looking forward, thinking I just had something good to say about a movie, well, here soon you'll have a little something that you guys probably weren't expecting a review on anytime soon. Cats. Yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this anyway, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. This video went on longer than I expected it to, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!